Well, good evening, everyone. It's Wednesday, April 5th. It's like 30 degrees with a brisk wind and a wind chill. The snow is melting. It's getting... I'm going to see if I can walk around, see if anything on the back side. I see my wire, one of my wire tomato cages that I had around my little trees. So I'm going to see if things survived, because I think they're thawed out. They're out of the snow. So I need to check on these baby trees I planted last fall. Looky here. Oh, well, looky there. Oh, and there's a nest. Yep, the voles. Voles have been having a fun time. But let's check and see how this baby tree is doing. Don't see any. I'm hoping it'll bud out. Still very flexible. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. It's very flexible. We might be getting little buds. And the pocket gophers have woke up. Look at that. Pocket gophers have woken up. Yeah, boy, they've been really busy under the snow all winter. And let's see how this little tree is doing. It looks like it's going. It's got some really tight buds on here. I don't know if you can see them. It's hard to get this thing to focus where I want it to focus. But there's some really nice tight buds. Next week it's supposed to get up in the 60s. More pocket gophers. Really wish I could find a way to eradicate them. Let's see how this little tree is doing. Oh, look. You can see the buds on it. They look nice bright red. Tiny little tight buds. They're not ready to swell up yet. But looks like a pocket gopher started burying my tree. Look at that. Yep, they started burying my tree here. As long as they didn't damage any of the roots. It feels firm in the ground. I think my baby trees all survived the winter, which is good. And, yep, got a beautiful sunset. It's cold. Tomorrow's supposed to get up in the 40s. I hope so. And I hope the wind stops blowing, because that wind is cold. It's coming out of the west. But boy, it makes it feel like it's about 15-20 degrees outside, and it's about 32 right now. But yeah, snow is melting. We just got this drift here out in the middle of everything. And I'm just going to go walking across the top. Yeah, it's soft. I'm actually sinking. Look at that. I'm sinking almost up to my knees. It's no longer firm. That's why it's melting so quickly. Wonder how much it's going to melt this next week when temperatures get up into the 60s. It's supposed to get about 62 on Monday or Tuesday, I think. We'll see. But thanks for coming along while I went out and checked my baby trees this evening. And I'm so happy to see that they've done well. Okay, we'll take care of the pocket gophers another time. it's a start. Okay, everybody. I got this cleared off. Got a big old pile here. I really need to do something with this. Anyways, what I discovered, got a lot of ice under here still. Temperatures are going to start getting really warm. This is just sitting on a big old block of ice. And so these can't start sprouting until this ice is melted. And all this dead stuff was kind of insulating the ice and keeping it from melting. It's all off. The ice will now all melt, and the tubers can start sprouting under there. It's going to get pretty warm next few days. This should all melt off by this time next week. All right, good afternoon, good morning. Oh, I didn't even check the clock. I got Jessie out. She's actually kind of enjoying it. It's warm outside and we got sunshine, and she's not sure what she wants to do out here today. She's just kind of comes out, stands in the sun, just stands there, just soaking up the sun. It's really warm. It's going to get up in the 50s. It might even get up to almost 60 today. And so I'm going to be spending my day while Jessie's out here enjoying being outside, tackling all the yard projects I would have gotten done last month, except for it just kept snowing last month. And we had winter. There. I bet the dirt's getting warm out here. This area out here is where Jessie usually loves to lay down and nap. Let me feel the ground. Oh yeah, that dirt is warm. It's warm from the sun shining on it. Yep. Okay, but yep. Oh, there is so much to do. I've got things that need to be pruned. Ideally, trees and shrubs are pruned in March before the sap starts to rise, but it kept snowing last year. Oh, I don't know about this poor little evergreen. I think the top part of it died over the winter. Everything buried in the snow survived. It's actually a native of Canada, so I know it works for this kind of environment, but it was cold a whole lot longer than it should have been. And I didn't plant it early enough in the summer and keep it watered enough out here for it really get a good root system going, this little shrub, but we'll see. And my sweet williams that grow wild, sorry about that. I live on a main road. It gets noisy. Anyways, sweet williams that have been growing wild outside of this flower bed. They're really greening up nice, but well, I got this flower bed that needs to be weeded. I've got this Nanking cherry that needs dead wood pruned out of it. I gotta finish up my flower bed cleaning project out here. Oh look, the ice is melting now that I've got now that the sun's on it. Oh, that's melting nicely. So yep, we're getting a lot of good melt on that ice that's just was buried under there. And I got to clean all this up. I really left a nice debris field cleaning up. I have actually gotten about this far on cleaning up the flower bed. Found this really big interesting rock in here. Oh, yeah, that is interesting. Big round rock in my flower bed. I've got to get all these cut back because I'm afraid very soon we're going to start, yep, already down there. There's some green growth coming up from the roots. These are my purple mountain asters, and I usually about end of June I chop them down to about a foot tall so that they will stay short and bloom. My irises are coming up. This entire iris bed needs to be weeded. I've got old branches and dead stuff that cut out of my serviceberry. Got to be pruned. Yard cleanup. Look at all that. That's off the big old tree. Yeah, it probably fell from that busted branch way up there. Yep. I've got my apple tree needs pruned, and I need to prune my Rainier cherry. I'm gonna cut it down a little bit because it's already getting too tall and I actually want to keep it dwarf sized. My peach tree needs pruning. I need to prune these lower branches here off the elm. And unfortunately, I think we're already starting to get buds, so the sap's starting to rise. It should have all been done last month. All this pruning should have been last month. I got to prune my peach tree, which is getting way too big for its britches. I've got to prune this apple tree. I've got to prune this apple tree, and I may call my neighbors who have apple orchard and see if they will come and help me. They've come out and helped me before. I got to get all the tires out of here, which I was going to do last fall, but ran out of time. I was working long days all the way to 6 p.m. and by the time I'd get home it was dark, and the weekends were suddenly went cold and stormy and wet, and I just never got them out. So, but they got to all come out. I've got, oh, the willow. There's one in there that's really fairly straight, fairly tall. I know it's hard to see which one it is, but I'm going to leave that one. I'm going to actually climb in there and follow it all the way down to its base, and then tie some ribbon around it, and everything else is going to go bye-bye. I think I got a neighbor with a chainsaw who can actually help me. Otherwise, I'll just get out here with my pruning saw and just start sawing away. I've got roses that need to have dead wood pruned out of them. I got lilacs that need to be pruned. Oh, I have got to get my raised beds cleaned out, and oh my Lord. Look at all these marigold seeds. Anybody want any marigold seeds? I literally have piles of marigold seeds. I mean, just big piles. I think I'm gonna just get them all, put them in a paper sack, let them all dry out. Oh my gosh. I could sow a whole field with all these seeds. These are all just marigold seeds, all of them. But as you notice, the board on this side and the board on this side, well, these boards are a little short. So one of my projects I've got to do before I do any planting in here is get these raised beds moved close enough together that this board can be attached to this board. Basically, I got to move them about an inch closer together. And I hadn't planned on having a bed on the end when I put these things together. So, oh boy. I think the marigolds are really taking over. Oh, there's more marigold seeds. All down here. I just got piles of them. Oh boy. Piles of marigold seeds. But that does mean digging out the dirt so I can lighten the load on these just enough to shove them just a little closer together. Probably measure to see how, because I like to keep them equidistant on the outside here bricks. I want to have the same measurements. But if I get them closer together, then I can actually screw that board together in the middle, and it will do much, much better. But yep, we have got a lot of work out here to do. A lot of raking and cleaning up. One thing about having a lovely big tree in your backyard is all the lovely seed pods that are all over your lawn that need to get raked up. And I got plenty of raking out here to do. We're going to have some piles. So I guess I better grab my garden gloves and get busy. We got a lot of work to do today. The next time I show this spot, maybe not these irises, but at least this and this, I'm going to clean those up first, and then we will be right back. And yes, today is sunny day. I am wearing my sunglasses. I've already been told by an eye doctor at my exam last year that I'm starting to develop cataracts, and please be sure to wear protection on your eyes when you're out in the bright sunshine. So I'm trying to remember to do that. And we'll come back in a bit after we get the pile cleaned up. Well, I got my little yard wagon here loaded up. I'm going to dump all this stuff out here, but first we need to move some tires. I'll be right back as soon as I get a few of these tires out of my way. Well, we have an empty cart, and we have a big pile of brush out in the middle of the pumpkin patch. Stack of tires there. Those are the ones that still have water in and ice in them. And all the dry ones are in the garage, where they should have been all winter. But we're gonna get going. I got more to do out here. Can't stand around all day. Well, I got the asters taken care of. The bed is much cleaned up here. Chopped all the buttons down. We got a little bit of green growth down there. As you can see, those little green leaves with a little bit of red on them. Those are asters. Here's one that's just coming right up there. This whole bed here is going to fill in. I used to have it really thick and also had some purple globe alum growing in here. But one year when somebody was helping me clean it out, they literally ripped everything out by the roots and no more purple alum. I'm going to see if I can find some of that purple globe and reseed the bed through here, so I once more have them coming up, because I really enjoy them. Okay, everybody, look at here. We can see all the irises. If you look here, you can see all the little irises. They're all coming up. Yeah, I've got a sapling tree here I need to dig up. This section of irises, the bulbs are getting super crowded, so I need to dig them all up and separate them. And they're also getting really close to the edge of the lawn there. They need to be pushed back a bit so we can mow the lawn. But yep, you can see all my irises are coming up. I've got some irises coming up in here too, along with some grass. Yeah, I gotta get the grass out, but it is so nice seeing the irises. And somehow I've got to get those iris tubers that are growing behind this Virginia creeper dug out. I have no idea how to do that, but it's got to be done. Okay, so I got that done. East side flower beds cleaned up. It looks so much better now. They look so much better. They're ready for spring. They're already coming up. Our weather's going to be getting up. Projected weather for the next 2 weeks is in the 50s and 60s. So I expect I'm going to have to start watering, because I noticed around here, especially over here, the ground is getting really dry already. So I'm going to have to drag out hoses and start watering this bed and get things going. Been walking through my yard since cleaning up the flower bed on the east side, and this is one in an old flower bed, Nanking cherry I had in here. And you can see we had 3-foot drifts in here. The pocket gophers and the voles that burrow under the ground, they've literally stripped the bark off of this Nanking cherry. Pretty much every single branch cane that's here has been stripped. I was going to dig up and try to transplant this bush, but it looks like it's not going to survive. It's not going to wake up. It's not going to bud out. There's no way to get for the stuff to get up from the roots to the branches, because it travels through the bark. All the nutrients for these trees and shrubs, it all travels through the bark, and all the bark has literally just been stripped off. So this is one where I'm basically just going to have to get my neighbor, see if he can help me just, I don't know, get a small backhoe or something and just basically pull the thing out. It's gone. I'm gonna walk over and check the other one. Well, checking the other one, and basically we got the same thing too in this little Nanking cherry. As you can see, every bit of bark has been stripped off by the rodents. So this Nanking bush and that one over there, they're gone. They're not going to leaf out this year. No cherries coming from that. These Nanking cherries are pretty much history. I always liked them because they tended to ripen just a little later, which extended my cherry season. The big bush over there would ripen first, and then these little bushes would ripen second. But looks like the rodents have got them. I don't see a bit of bark left. They've been completely banded, and that just really makes me sad that I've lost these 2 Nanking cherries to the rodents. Well, got one more accomplishment today. Got my Dollar Tree stackable planters filled with dirt, potting soil. Went and got a big bag. It was $6.25 at the local garden center. So that's not too bad. Now, as soon as somebody gets some strawberries, I can get this thing planted. One more thing I want to try to get done today is I want to get this little flower bed here cleaned up. most of what is growing here, they look like weeds, but this is flax. And I really got an overabundance of flax in here. I also got the old daylilies, my irises. Just want to see what's survived the winter. Got a lot of grass in this flower bed. It's trying to take over, so I'll probably eventually have to dig this flower bed out again. It won't be the first time I completely dug everything out of it and completely replanted it. But got a little green down in the middle. That green is Sweet Williams that I need to uncover so they can get some sunshine. Okay. Well, I got this about as weedy as I can get for right now. Got all the top stuff out, a lot of the dead stuff out. I think some of my irises in here may have survived. We're going to have to see about that little evergreen. Yeah, if I'd gotten it planted in the spring and kept it well watered instead of making it a house plant, it would have probably done much better. It would have had a better root system. But for right now, I'm going to see what buds out and see if any puts out any new green stuff anywhere. Just keep it watered and let it have lots of sunshine, and we'll see if it survives. Now, for my next project, I'm going to get this front flower bed. This is what everybody sees when they go driving by my house. Beautiful, isn't it? Well, we will be back here in a little bit and see what happened. Well, it's not perfect. I still need to do some edging and some really deep digging out to get the grass roots out, but I think I've restored a little bit of my curb appeal here by getting all the dead stuff out. And I've even got, see, my hollyhocks are actually starting to sprout again. That one there. And my poppies. Got some new green growth on the poppies here. Now they can get some sunshine and warmth. And I got hollyhocks over here. And as you can see, we've got a nice little green bud there unfurling. So, get the hollyhocks and the poppies start doing a little better now that all the dead stuff has been removed. And, yep, got to get the grass dug out, but it looks so much better. Look at that clean line all the way down the east side of my home. And the north side is doing pretty good as well. Funny thing enough, was still kind of frozen. Look at this. There's ice there. This here, that's all ice. It's got mud on it, but it's just ice. There's ice still. Okay, talk at y'all later. Well, to end off this video, I just spent a good amount of my time smoothing off this fence line, getting the weeds raked out so I can at least keep the field side of the fence nicely mowed. And I think I did a pretty good cleanup job. Need to get some fuel in my mower and see if the darn thing starts. But it'll be really good. This side was a little bit dicey. Along here, couldn't go too close to the fence because all the pipe is still here. And as you can see, the pocket gophers and voles, just this whole area was looking like that there. And so I went all the way down to the end. But it's cleaned up, it's smoothed off enough that I think I can get my lawnmower through here. And let's get this chunk of wood. all the irrigation stuff I found. I plopped it all down there. Got to get a hold of the guy who farms this field and let him know it. If he can help me keep this smoothed, then I will keep it mowed. Take good care of this fence line and make this side of my property look good. I've been keeping this all mowed out here where it meets my lawn, and it looks pretty good. And I'd like to have this side looking just as good. So I hope everybody has a wonderful Easter and celebrate with your friends and your loved ones. And it's just a beautiful day today. We've had some clouds went overhead, but they've all cleared off, and now we got this gorgeous blue sky. So once again, happy Easter, and everybody just enjoy your beautiful spring weather. If you have it, I hope you have beautiful spring weather where you are. Enjoy your Easter celebrations with your loved ones, and I will see you all on the next video.